We are now at the last chorale of the Orgelbuchlein, at least of the complete ones that we have today. And this one has a very deep title, I think. Ach wie nichtig, ach wie flüchtig. So how useless and insubstantial. I find this a very particular way to end this series, but let's look about the text and try to understand more about it. So, how fleeting, how paltry is the life of mankind. As a mist soon rises and as soon disperses again. See, so is our life. And then other verses, but for example, in another verse, how paltry, how fleeting are things of mankind. All that we see must fall and decay. He who fears God will survive forever. So, of course, a very deep text. We might say a bit depressing, maybe, but of course it's a text of someone who is really reflecting about what are we doing here and what is the meaning of our life. Some particularities to start with the text. I read 2 verses to show that in the first sentence the words nichtig and flüchtig are inverted. So the first time it's nichtig and flüchtig, but another time it's the other way around. And there is also a bit of playing with the word Leben, so life, and its palindrome, Nebel, so fog. Life is fog. Life is indeed so unsubstantial. And I think this foggy or elusive character of life is also expressed by the writing of this chorale. So there are, for example, many scales going up and down, and they are used in a very inventive way, I must say. So sometimes they go in parallel thirds or sixths, and sometimes in contrary motion, but it's always this also a bit elusive character. So if I only play the middle parts, of course the melody is at the top in the soprano, but in the middle this happens. And so on. I think it's particular to listen to the fact that we don't really know almost where each phrase starts and ends. And maybe it's a metaphor of life as something that appears and disappears and we cannot really grasp it. Or maybe of the flow of time, that our life is over and what have we meant, actually. But I find it very passing, of course, and very fitting for the meaning of this chorale. So a dispersing mist. I think the pedal adds another dimension to this. So whereas in the hands we had these scales and passing by, the pedal is very different. It's always with these octave jumps. And it's very constant. Maybe, I don't know, it means time that passes by, the ticking of time. Or maybe with the breaks that he has, it always makes us wait for something, but then it disappears again. But again, it contributes to this image of something elusive. And I think even more we hear this at the very end of the piece. I will play just that little part. So it's very particular that the pedal ends on a silence, and then on the ends we see a full chord played by the right hand, but of course no bass in the pedal, and the left hand ends just going down and then with a very short note at the end. So just in a moment, it's finished, and we are left with silence. Of course, silence is a very beautiful thing, but after having spent 1 year almost looking at these chorales of the Orgelbuchlein and everything that Bach has made and done with it, I find it really curious to end on this note about what does this all mean. Well, of course, we can all have our thoughts about it. What does music mean in this world, and what can we do with it? For sure, it contributes to a lot of beauty, and it brings us to reflect on many themes that we've seen until now through this journey across the Orgelbuchlein. And maybe life is useless, we don't know, but for sure music contributes to the beauty of it.
Thank you for being part of the Orgelbuchlein project. This is more than music. It's a message of deep human emotions, from sorrow to joy, and a shared hope for a better future.
At the Conscious Foundation, we believe everyone deserves a peaceful home, and we think that music has the unique power to unite people in harmony. From the organ at St. Michael's Peace Church in Leuven, we bring this vision to life.
Through inclusive composition projects, regular concerts, and our annual Organ Marathon for Peace, we inspire connection and hope. One day, we dream of hundreds of organs worldwide joined together in a resounding call for peace.
Help us amplify this message by joining our Patreon community. Link in the description.